Joseph Stalin came into power 1914. After he got in prison, this is like when it started. I'll show you the documents, but came into power, not power, but started coming into power 1914. Died 1953. And what is he known for saying? Joseph Stalin. Joseph Stalin, quote, "You know they are fooling us. There is no God." Remember, 1914, 1953, he dies. Also an atheist, right? So you know how Christians get blamed? Like the whole group of Christianity gets blamed for the Crusades? Well, we can say the same thing about atheists and many atheists around the world for all the stuff they did. Think about that. But anyways, you know, this is what Joseph Stalin said right here, okay? So you can see right here, 1914, 1945, it's about Stalin, starting at 1914. You can pause and read, but 1912, after his early arrest in 1913, cut to 1914, it all starts for him downhill, I would say. So right here, dies March 5th, 1953. So check this out. Remember what he's known for saying. They have fooled us. There is no God. Let's go to Psalm 14 and Psalm 53. 1914, 1953. Psalm 14, Psalm 53. Psalm 14. Verse 1, "The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt, they have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God." 1914. You know that Psalms is the ninth in the canonized 66 books. The book of Psalms is the 19th from the front and the 48th from the back. We'll get into that, right? But this is representing 1914. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Stalin. And what was the year he died? 1953. "The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good." Psalm 14, Psalm 53. He comes into power in 1914, and he dies in 1953. He says, they have fooled us, there is no God. And in both these Psalms, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Pretty interesting, right? I have a whole 2-hour video on this on YouTube, but check this out. Psalm 48 is about 1948. "For lo, the kings," Israel becomes a nation again, May 14th, 1948, the UN, right? "For lo, the kings were assembled." This is the UN. "They passed by together. They saw it, and so they marveled. They were troubled and hasted away. Fear took hold upon them there, and pain as a woman in travail," right? This is giving birth to the fig tree generation, I guess you would say. But Israel becoming a nation again, 1948, Psalm 48. So we could see a lot of connections here. Look, what happened in 2020? It seems like a lot of lies happen and a lot of things happened. So let's look at Psalm 120 and see if it has anything to do about 2020. Let's finish Psalm 48 first, actually, because you can here, pause and read. But let Mount Zion rejoice. Let the daughters of Judah be glad because of thy judgments. They become a nation again after World War II. And quick side note, the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered 1946 to right around the same time Israel become a nation again. The Dead Sea Scrolls are being discovered by Bedouin shepherds. Of all people, shepherds, right? And right when Israel's become a nation again, fulfilling prophecy. And guess what happens July of, right after the Dead Sea Scrolls are discovered? The Roswell incident. And then the next day, they recant the story and they say it was weather balloons, and now that's a distraction. Don't pay attention to Israel becoming a nation again, fulfilling prophecy, and that the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered by Bedouin shepherds. Focus on these aliens, right? Seems what they always try to do for distractions. But Psalm 120, about 2020. "In my distress, I cried unto the Lord, and he heard me." What happened to all of us when this COVID hit? And then remember all the 5G stuff was going on. We all got into our word. We cried out to the Lord, right? "Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue." Can you see all that happened in 2020? "I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war." All the silencing, all the lies, everything that we had to deal with. And 120 is 120 years, Noah's flood, right? And God said, my scroll will not strive with man, for he is flesh and blood. His years will be 120, which is 120 jubilees, which is 6,000 years. So the flood started 2020, you could say, in a way. So if you're interested in this, I have a long YouTube on it. Just go to my link tree and go to long form studies, and then go to the one about prophecy in the Psalms. I did that a while ago, so I'm gonna have to redo it, because a lot of things like in Psalm 122 about being in the temple being built didn't happen. So I don't know, but either way, interesting, right? Dies in 1953, comes into power in 1914. Psalm is the 19th book from the front, the 48th from the back. Psalm 48 is about 1948. So Psalm 1 is about 1901. Psalm 22 is about 1922. Psalm 120, 2020. And it checks out, you know, pick a year. There's a book by J.R. Church. It's in my YouTube video. I'm not trying to like promote my I am, okay? I am actually. I am going to be proud. A workman not ashamed. Here, let me show you. If you go to my link tree, do like long form studies, and it's this one right here. And of course, a lot of the stuff I spoke in here didn't happen, because I did this in, I don't know, 2020. I'm not sure when I did it, 2021 or something, late 2020. We were just reading it and saying, hey, you know, look, this is possible. But here it is, and it shows you the book and everything. And here's some other ones. These are all, I want to start doing these again, all these long form studies. Check this one out. Oh, right here. Jesus in the Old Testament. Jesus-Moses comparisons. And you know what? There are so many more. Just like how Moses married a Gentile bride. I want to do a lot of these over again, but here they are. But what are your all's thoughts on this, you know? 1914, Psalm 14. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. Stalin, they have fooled us. There is no God. 1953, he dies. It's in Psalm 14 and Psalm 53. I think it's interesting, and that's not the only connection. It's all throughout the Psalms. If you watch that YouTube video, I'll lead you to the book, and it's from J.R. Church. He died in like 1984, so he couldn't do it any further. But you can try it for yourself and watch that video, and you'll see what I mean. All right, I love you all.